Okay.
Oh, did we lose him? Hold on a second. I think we lost Lawrence. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get started without Lawrence. Lawrence is in Italy, so he may be experiencing some technical difficulties. Actually, he's coming back in right now. Lawrence, are you there?
Yeah.
Mute.
Hello, Dan. Good morning. Good
Okay.
morning, everybody. It is Friday, and of course, the slaughterhouse of failure is not in our destiny, according to Og Mandino. We will persevere until we succeed. Dan has a little take on that, which I like that. Last week he said, Dan, the slaughterhouse of last week you said the slaughterhouse of failure is in our destiny if we do not persevere and succeed. To succeed, something like that. So it's either way, we've just got to persevere. And today we're going to talk about something that is key to success. You can be a complete genius, you can be brilliant, but if you haven't got discipline, you will not succeed as well as if you were, smart and disciplined. So I just wanted to kick it off with a few things that were quite important for my life when I was a kid, and that had to do with discipline. And I thought it was horrible. At 8 years old, I was at boarding school, and we had uniforms. We had to wear the socks had to be 3 fingers below the knee. We had to make our beds. We had to clean our shoes at 8 years old. And those type of habits of discipline were things that later on in life have served me to look at how people's shoes are and how they look and how they dress and so on. The question of habit, also Admiral McRaven talked about make your bed in the morning so that you look forward to going to sleep rather than having, I've got to make my bed before I go to bed. So the habits that become discipline, that become habits that are useful. Breakfast at a certain time, lunch at a certain time, dinner at a certain time. And we used to have a menu. Monday, we knew it was frog's eggs, which was tapioca on Friday, which I love. So those disciplines help us to have good habits. Things like going to the gym and doing sport on a regular basis. Even some stupid thing like I remember I had to put a napkin under my armpits when we were eating, because so we wouldn't be flapping our arms when we were eating and bumping somebody's fork on the other side. So just silly things, but they are all habits that, or discipline that form our habits. And if we get into those positive habits, and they are, that just becomes part of our lives, and that makes it so much easier. Financial discipline, I'll let Dan go into that because he is the guru on that.
So I wanted to get this kicked off with I watched a great video on Jocko Willink about how to smash days when you don't feel like it. And it all really boils down to discipline. It boils down to doing things that you don't want to do. I wake up every morning and there's things that I don't want to do, but I make myself do them because I'm disciplined. And I do the things. I'm disciplined enough to extrapolate out those things that I need to do that are going to move me forward to help me reach my goals. Right. So, it's creating those daily habits, being disciplined with those daily habits, really just disciplining yourself to do those things that are difficult, no matter where you are in the day. Are you tired? Do what you have to do to be successful. Do you have something else you want to do? Rather than doing what you need to do the things that you need to do. So I'm going to share a quick video with you, and then it's about 3 minutes long, and then we'll be right back.
What do you do on the days when you're just not?
Hold on a second.
What do you do on the days
Sorry.
when you're?
I gotta
You've got
share.
sound.
Yeah, I
You've
know.
got
I didn't
sound,
share.
no visual.
Hold on.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
You're just not
Okay.
feeling those days. Those days when I'm tired or worn out or just basically sick of the grind. What do I do on those days? I go anyways. I get it done, even if I'm just going through the motions. I go through the motions. I don't really want to work out. I work out. I really don't want to hammer on a project. I hammer on the project. Don't really want to get up and get out of bed. Yeah. I get up and get out of bed. Now, these could be signals that you need some time off. And those signals might be right. They could be correct. But don't take today off. Not today. Wait until tomorrow. Give in to the immediate gratification that is whispering in your ear. Shut that down. Not listen to that little voice. Instead, go through the motions. Lift the weights, sprint the hill, work on the project, get out of bed. Now, as an overall rule, I do not like procrastination. You need to get things done. But if you are going to rest, that is one thing that you should procrastinate on. That's the one thing I want you to put off until tomorrow. And if, when tomorrow comes, you still feel like you need to rest or you need to take a break, then okay. But the chances are you won't need that rest. Chances are you will realize that the desire to rest was just weakness. It was just the desire to take the path of least resistance, the downhill path, the easy path. And by simply going through the motions, you stayed on the righteous path, the disciplined path, stayed on the war path, which is right where you know.
So on that, I just want to quickly comment, Dan, on one thing there, that, sometimes our motivation will wane, will fade, but the discipline will overcome that. Even if we're not motivated, but we're disciplined, we'll still do it regardless. And that's what will help us succeed. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, discipline's not easy. But when you have goals, when you have dreams, when you have things that you need to get done, you need to be disciplined. And, there's days when I don't want to be disciplined. There's days when I want to go out and spend some time in the woods and relax and not think about anything. But I know that if I'm disciplined and I get done what I need to get done, then I can enjoy myself more when I do have the opportunity to go out in the woods, go for a hike, because I'm not going to be thinking about the things that I should have been doing or the things that I should have done before I went out and spent some time alone and enjoying myself. So there are some things that you don't know about discipline that will change your life. Discipline's always seen as restrictive or boring, but discipline provides the key that unlocks your most significant potential. Without discipline, you will not reach your potential. It's not confining. Discipline expands what is possible in your life by enabling consistent and focused effort. on what matters most. Developing discipline, developing habits, developing workflows that help you get done the most important things that you need to get done first. These things will change everything. It's about building willpower. Self-discipline builds willpower. Willpower and discipline provide freedom. And it also allows you to achieve your biggest dreams and ambitions. So it's discipline builds willpower. It's like muscle memory. It's like muscle training. Practicing self-discipline increases your ability to resist the temptation of distractions over time. Being disciplined to not pay any attention to the distractions, pushing distractions out of your life. Not spending time watching TV when you have other things to do. Not spending time, anytime doing something other than what you should be focused on. The more you make wise decisions aligned with your goals, rather than giving into these impulses and the emotions, the easier it becomes to live purposefully. Lawrence?
You've just reminded me about the discipline part of it. I was in Cartagena, and I was at the Officers Club in Cartagena, and the meeting we agreed was going to take place at 9:30. So it was going to be at 10. So at 9:30, I was there and I prepared, and I was really sitting there waiting about 9:45. And by 10 o'clock, I was still the only one there, and I thought maybe I got the day wrong. And then 10:10, some people started rolling in, 10:15, 10:30. And by about that time, I was like, I'd like ants in my shoes. And I got up and I put on the blackboard, I put there, integrity starts with punctuality. And these people rolled in, and eventually about, 11:15, we started the meeting. And then some other guy got up there and he said, my gosh, he said, we've just been taught a lesson. And I said, well, is Colombia one country? I said, yes. I said, how would you describe, yes. I said, how would you describe the Germans? Oh, very punctual. Whoa, they're really organized and punctual. How would you describe the British? Oh, yeah, they're very organized and punctual too. The Swiss? Oh, like clockwork. And I said, well, what the hell's wrong with you? If the meeting was supposed to start at 10, why are we starting at 11:15? Because you don't have the discipline of punctuality. You guys have been so used to being slouching around at your own time that you don't have that discipline of time. And I said, we've got another meeting on Wednesday, whenever it was. And at 9, the meeting starts at 10. At 9:45, I'm closing the doors. And I don't care if I'm on my own. And I'll tell you what, they were all there very early and punctual the next time. So we need somebody or something to prompt us to realize, that we need to stay on the path of being disciplined and punctual. The other thing I want to say is, in our habits, if we do something well, even if it takes longer, it's still less time than if we have to come back and fix it and do it again and try and fix a problem. So take the time to do it properly. Don't get distracted. Focus on it, complete it, do it properly, do it once. And with the financial discipline, Dan, that's your big baby there. Go with that.
No, I don't really have much to say about that. But what I can tell you is discipline is about taking control of your life, right? There's so many things in our lives that we can't control. The great thing about discipline is we can control our discipline. And when you're disciplined in one area, it will reinforce discipline in other areas. And as you gain control in critical parts of your life, like health, time, money, and relationships, self-control starts to become a natural muscle that you can apply more broadly, right? So it carries over, if you get up in the morning, miracle morning, we all know about Hal Elrod. and the importance of getting up early. But it's not just about getting up early. It's about having the discipline to get up early. And then that discipline that you start your day with starts to carry over into other parts of your day, into your, you get up and you get up early and you read for a little bit, personal development. That takes discipline. You go exercise for an hour. That takes discipline to get up and exercise every day, right? And then it just becomes a snowball effect of discipline. Discipline starts creeping into every facet of your life when you become disciplined. And you don't have to be disciplined 24 hours a day, but you need to be disciplined enough to spend time on those things that you need to do to reach your goals and reach your dreams. And ultimately, discipline provides freedom. The constraints of discipline will provide freedom from the destructive behaviors, the destructive patterns, and the impulses that control your life. These things all control your life, and we allow them to. But when we stop allowing them to control our lives, that's when we truly start to become free, because we're taking back control of our lives. And when you gain power over these negative habits through self-control and willpower, you gain the freedom to live purposefully.
We talk. Oh, go ahead.
There's so many times when we are beholden to cravings, and we eat poorly. Our emotions, if we let them take control, it clouds our decision-making process. And then distractions, we're beholden to all of these distractions in our daily life. And until we master discipline, our lives are not going to change. So developing disciplined habits for sleep, for diet, for exercise, for work, for finances, and relationships, that gives you power over areas that you previously felt helpless. And then these tiny discipline gains each day add tremendous freedom over months and years and decades, right? And it's just about training yourself. It's about creating these habits, being disciplined in your daily life. And then, being disciplined will help you achieve your dreams.
Yeah, we've always talked about the compound effect. It's being consistent with the vision of what you want and be disciplined about how you're going to get there. So, we talk about, you mentioned weight, diet and weight and all this kind of stuff. Well, that's something that is a daily thing. It's not just something you do once a week or something. It's 3 times a day or twice a day you're going to eat. And if we try and really be disciplined on each one of those, at the end of the year, we will have a fantastic result if we plan it right. Otherwise, at the end of the year, we've got to work double as hard to try and fix what we didn't do. So, I think, not to hammer it on too much, but I think that discipline is key to everything we do, whether it's financial, whether it's health, whether it's what we eat, whether it's exercise, whether it's meditation, whether it's, time with community, time with family, all of these things we need to do. And I think it's essential that we do that. And that's what these calls are about, is to kind of remind us a little bit about, don't forget to be disciplined about your life.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have you introduced somebody to this business or anything and they're not successful? And the reason they're not successful, if you think back, is because they were doing this part-time, or they weren't spending the time, they weren't disciplined. They had dreams, but they weren't disciplined enough to do the things they needed to do, the consistency and the things that we talk about all the time to reach their dreams. Without discipline, dreams remain dreams, right? There are no shortcuts around discipline. If you want to accomplish anything significant, you cannot take shortcuts. You need to be disciplined. And then the gratification from living out these dreams is well worth the cost of the discipline required to reach those dreams. And Lawrence talked about the compound effect. All advancements require small acts of discipline stacked up over time. Progress happens when you say no to distractions and keep doing the work that you need to do to reach your dreams. And consistent discipline, being consistent with your discipline. This is required to achieve almost any significant ambition. True success and fulfillment come from sustained effort. There's a great quote from the legendary basketball coach, John Wooden. He said, "Discipline yourself and others won't need to." Right? That's why people get jobs, because they can't discipline themselves. They can't go out and they're not self-starters. They need to be told what to do. And when you get a job, that's precisely what happens when you're not disciplined. Somebody else is going to tell you what to do to be disciplined. They're going to tell you what they want you to do. You lose all autonomy. So without discipline, dreams simply remain dreams.
100%. Sorry. So, I don't know, Dan, have you got anything else? I think we're about on that time.
Yeah, I had one more quote from Bruce Lee. He said, "The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus." And how you develop focus is through discipline.
I'm going to use that quote because I saw it, and I was going to use that quote. We've been invited to dinner tonight, and the people that we're going with have a daughter that's very, very good at tennis. So she wants to be a professional tennis star, but she gets disanimated, if you like, or she gets kind of like down in the dumps when she doesn't win all the time. And I was going to use exactly that quote and say, you could be mediocre, but if you're absolutely disciplined, you will succeed. You will. It's just it. Serena Williams' movie, King Richard, showed the discipline that went into that. No distractions. The father was absolutely adamant. So anyway, totally love that one, Dan. Thank you.
And every one of us on this call is an example of this, right? There are times when we got into this business originally, when we first started, we probably weren't disciplined enough to do this business, to be successful in this business. But when, John Schwartz is on here, he's a perfect example. He hung around for a couple of years, didn't really do anything. Lawrence and I talked to him on a phone call. I still remember that day like it was yesterday. I was sitting on this chair right behind me having this conversation with John and Lawrence. And when John turned everything around and started to become disciplined and created the habits that he needed to be successful in this business, that's when he started seeing success. Jerry Savage, I brought him into this business four years ago. Didn't really he did some stuff in the very beginning because he was excited, and then he had distractions. And now he's gotten rid of those distractions. He's become more consistent, more disciplined, and he's starting to see massive success. He's going to place 4 scanners today. He placed 1 scanner yesterday, and these are with physicians. So, the benefits of being disciplined are massive, while the costs of lacking discipline are enormous, wasted potential. So start small today. With 1 new disciplined habit like making your bed, getting up early, tracking your spending, planning your meals, meditating, or setting a morning routine, and watch your self-control muscle grow each week. Then build momentum. Add another disciplined habit every month or every week. This supercharges your willpower like compound interest.
Total, 100%. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Lawrence. Anybody have comments?
Nobody?
All right.
Discipline and good habits.
Hey, just one thing is, you said the person who is not disciplined will end up having to take orders from someone else. That other person is very disciplined.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you let them, they'll make you disciplined. but not disciplined doing the things that are going to enhance your life. It's going to be something that's going to enhance their life.
Yeah.
Sometime you may end up having your wife to be disciplining you. I'm just joking.
Lawrence speaks of a tremendous experience.
That's what I was just gonna say, Dan, that Lauren speaks from experience. Dan, you're when you said dreams without discipline will remain dreams, that is so powerful. Thank you for
Oh,
saying that.
Absolutely.
good.
Nice
Okay.
shot, Jim.
Well, good luck, the Las Vegas group, with your success there. Hope you have lots of success, and we'll see by December how you'll know by December how you've done.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey, by the way, we're just as disciplined as Jane. We got up and got on the call at 6:30 this morning.
Okay.
So, you guys are disciplined. You're here every week. You know,
Yeah.
that's-
Look here. There's
good.
me and Holly. We're at it again.
Yep.
There you go. Hey, Holly. Good to see you.
Hi.
The disciplined duo.
Yeah. Be
Yeah.
successful.
All
Okay.
right, guys. Everybody have a
Blessings,
wonderful
everybody.
weekend.
Thank you.
Start creating those habits, the discipline to be successful. Have a good
Thank
one.
you, guys. Have a wonderful
Okay.
weekend.
Blessings to you all. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Have a great
Bye.
Bye-bye.
weekend.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.